Well, my dancing aside, Jacob, I hear through the grapevine that you have a topic of time-sensitive relevance that you would like to discuss today.
It's only, yes, and it's only time sensitive because, it just happened. It'd be nice to talk about something that's current events.
Current, as in, if the week you're listening to, this is last. We recorded this the previous week, so
yeah,
it's current for that at least, which is good enough for us.
Well, both things I have are like streamer related, which is kind of interesting. And one of them literally happened, like we literally found out about it like 2 days ago. So one.
Wait, hold on. Let me check my notes.
You
Yeah.
think you actually have one?
No, I think I have the same one.
Okay, well the first one is from farther back, so
Okay.
I'll go with that one first. So a big event that happens on Twitch, I'm pretty sure it's one of the biggest like Twitch events in general, is Cutie Cinderella. She hosts a like a streamer awards.
Yeah,
So
I've heard of
the
that.
community votes on the best streamers for different categories. Like they nominate them, and then in the end, they actually choose the winner out of the nominations.
Yeah.
All these streamers, they fly out to LA, blah, blah, blah. It's really cool, really big. Well, because she does it in Q1 of the year, a lot of companies don't want to sponsor it because they want to have their budget for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
They want to choose, like, pick and choose. So, at first, like, I think she said next year, like this year's, for 2024, it's actually going to happen in December instead of at the start of Q1. That way that she can get sponsors easily.
Yeah.
But she started up a event channel, which was to like fund the streamer awards because she couldn't get any sponsors, which is a really good idea.
Yeah.
And so the thing is it was only going to like run reruns, like VODs or whatever, which is fine. There's a lot of streamer channels that only run VODs, and they still run ads. It's perfectly fine. A lot of streamer channels do it and don't even tell you it's a VOD. So the fact that she publicly came out and was like, it's only going to run, VODs. You can have it on your second monitor. Just keep it up if you want to help in any like small way to the streamer awards. I was like, that's cool. Like, I was one of the people that had it up because that's pretty chill. Because it's not like it takes anything other than just having it open.
Yeah.
To participate in helping. But then, see, I don't really have a problem with it. But she also specifically said you can just mute the tab, which is what everyone does anyway. But because she publicly said you can just mute the tab, a lot of other people had a problem with it. Do you know why?
Does it affect the ad revenue in any way? I can't imagine it.
It doesn't affect the ad revenue. However, it may make ad like buyers look down on buying ads for Twitch if they know all the ads are just getting muted.
You could say that, and I definitely see that, but at the same time, people still advertise out the ass on YouTube, and I have ad block on here and on there, so it's like...
I would also like to say, like, if you, in my personal opinion, if you think that is going to, like, deter ads from being bought, you also need to look at how many people just have a TV on in the background and don't even listen, like, don't pay attention to it, And
that's what I'm saying. It's like, and YouTube still makes shitloads of the amount of ads people give. I don't think the people sponsoring Twitch. Now, I know that the adpocalypse comes for us all. And Twitch so far seems to be the only one that hasn't truly had one where like droves and droves of fucking sponsors are pulling out, which it happened first to YouTube, then it happened to podcast during the pandemic. And so Twitch is the only one that hasn't had the like adpocalypse where everybody's like, we're not really making that much. And I remember there's a streamer I don't personally know anything about, so I can't say I like him or not, but I think his name is like Schnatz, yeah. he looks like me. He's like just kind of a raggedy looking white dude, but he's in all those like streams with like that Minx girl who like brings all the porn stars on and stuff. Schlatt's his name,
it's Schlatt. Yeah.
He had a whole thing like on a podcast that I didn't watch. It just came to me in a short, but I watched him talk about it, where he was like talking about how he lost a Twitch sponsor specifically because
you're talking about the podcast Chuckle Sandwich, I think.
Yeah. There you go. He had lost a sponsor specifically because no one at all was using the code. Like it had been like months and no one had ever used the code. So I see that for podcasts. I see YouTube had its own shit. So but I don't think this is going to create the adpocalypse for Twitch yet.
No, it's just a single thing. The good thing, so it goes a little further, right? Because Twitch recently, like within the last year,
you mean
banned,
Twitch.tv? Call it by its legal name.
Justin.tv. No. They banned streaming like Omegle for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
Well, they banned streaming it, but people used to stream it in the past.
Yeah.
And so on the VOD channel for Cutie Cinderella was one of the like a highlighted moment from that, and it actually got her accounts banned. Okay. Luckily, she speed ran it, right? Because I think she got banned, and usually it's like a 3-day ban, like minimum. Twitch is really weird with their bans. They're kind of like, you can have a 1-day ban and you can have a 4-day ban, but it's the same infringement.
Have you ever been banned on Twitch?
No.
I've been banned twice.
I'd like to keep it that way. Okay.
The first wait, hold on. I want to just interject because the first time was my fault. I played a game that was absolutely like on their X list. You know what I mean?
You played Honey Pop, didn't you?
No, but that's the funny story. I played a game called Material Girl. I do not recommend it. Do not even look it up. It's bullshit. It's a JRPG porno game. The other thing, though, the thing that I had was Honeycam Studios, the sequel to Honey Pop, right? Where you run a cam studio. That one did not get an AO rating. It got an M rating, whereas Honey Pop got an AO rating. And I was like, okay, so Honeycam Studios is fine. So I started streaming it, and literally 10 minutes into it, I was banned.
That's funny.
And I'm not kidding. I checked the list before that happened. I checked it after it happened, and it still wasn't on that list. And then like 5 minutes after, I checked again, and it was up on the list of like their disallowed games.
Anyway,
sorry, continue though.
Moving on. Within like 45 minutes, apparently, like she contacted Twitch and she got unbanned, which is cool. That's like talented, right? It's a talented move. Here's what I think happened, right? Hear me out. I think because it is such a big event for Twitch in general.
Yeah.
And the new CEO, Dan Clancy, is pretty chill. Like, he's pretty connected to the streamers. He even, I think, went to her, like, Christmas concert that I was telling you about a few months ago. I'm pretty sure she got banned. She immediately messaged, and they were like, hey, we saw everything. We're going to unban you. It's easy as that. We understand. It's whatever. It was a bot. But not only that, I think they helped her get sponsors. It's just my opinion. There's no evidence of this except that happened. She decided she wasn't going to turn the VOD channel back on this time. And then I'm pretty sure Twitch actually helped her and like sponsored her a little bit.
Yeah.
And actually like OBS Streamlabs sponsored her.
I see what
which
you're
is
saying.
Two big things, and I can actually see I could see Twitch being like, we see you've been having trouble with this, we're gonna help you out.
Yeah.
Because it's, big to their platform. Not only that, is like I kind of feel like that's another reason why she got unbanned so quickly, is because this was like literally earlier this week or so, and the Streamer Awards is tomorrow.
Yeah, I feel that.
So
let me interject with a little something here, because that actually, I'm in your boat there. I think I think that probably they came into clutch and helped her out there. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. It's like you could say something like, you know, oh, well, you're showing favoritism or something. But I mean, all these services do that anyway. Like, that's not, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, that's not new. It's like, if I go on Twitch, Sips is going to be treated a lot better than I am. You know what I mean? It's like, they're not going to, it's like somebody like fucking WoW Krindor isn't going to have the same problems I have, and he will receive more help. It's just kind of the way it goes. So, I mean, I think it's good that they at least showed, if they did, like, let's say your conspiracy theory is correct, then I think that, you know, you're right, that it's probably for the better, because at least that means you're willing to do something.
Yeah.
But
New
I have
CEO is
oh,
pretty
sorry.
cool. Just saying, like, you know, he's going to a lot of events. He also streams himself now. So
Yeah, it's like when those tiny minor sports leagues get like bought by like a super fan, and then all of a sudden it's just the commissioner of the Southern Professional Hockey League is at every game. But hold on, I wanted to ask you about this because I know you love streamers, and I have nothing against streamers. I just don't watch streams. So I am so absolutely completely removed from the world of streaming, right? Like, it took me 5 minutes to remember Schlatt's name, and I've never even watched him. It's just like, I know there's so many streamers that are huge. So I started listening to a podcast where they interview, I'm going to say it's meant to be like multimedia internet personalities, but it's mostly streamers. And I wanted to run through this with you because I have heard of 3 of the 10 people they have had on this podcast. And I'm in no way trying to say that, oh, these people are small, they suck. I'm trying to say specifically, I am so disconnected that I don't think, I think some of these people might be pretty popular. So, okay. The 3 that I know that they've had on are WoW Krindor.
What's the podcast?
It's called The
Just
Geek.
so I know.
It's called The Geek Enders with Jesse Cox and Dodger.
Okay.
And so they've had Krindor on, who I know. They have Sips on, formerly Yogscast Sips. I know him.
I know him.
And they have Rubber Ross, who was the Australian guy on Game Grumps, and he's also an animator and stuff. Beyond
I know
them,
him.
Yeah. Beyond them, we have Kraken. Is that somebody?
I know him through Josh.
Okay. That bronze girl, she was great, by the way. I've never heard of her either, though. Let's see. Octo. That sounds
familiar.
Octo Pimp is his actual full username.
No, I don't know that.
JP. See,
maybe
they all sound so familiar. And then the last one is
JP sounds familiar. Like I might know.
And then Little Sia. Little and then SIHA. Yeah, it's weird. I'm so disconnected because all these people are pretty big. I've done like the research on them, and they're all very charismatic. They were all great interviews and stuff. That's what I'm saying. This is in no way disparaging, being like, I haven't heard of them, they must not be popular. More of like, I'm just being like, how could I possibly be so disconnected while still always existing?
There's a fun resource. Streamer.
Oh, I thought you were just literally going to go to Twitch and be like, meh.
No.
I thought you're being sarcastic.
There's a thing called the Twitch Atlas.
That sounds wild. I need to experience this. Hold on.
Yeah, there's a link, I think. Or it might just be a picture.
It might just be a picture. Let me click this. Is it just a pic? Oh, it is just a picture.
So here's the thing, right? That shows you all the bigger Twitch streamers and who they're connected to.
Oh,
and so they're all bubbled, right? And it's sort of like
name Krindor. No results found. Okay.
It's sort of like all the big ones, like the bigger dots, you've probably heard of in passing if you're anywhere near the streamer industry. But for instance, there's like the blue dots up top, and the biggest one is like OTPO or PLOL. I don't know who any of those people are, but I'm assuming that's Fortnite streamers because there's a guy named Solari Fortnite. But, you know, there's Dota streamers, it looks like. There's Korean streamers.
Yeah.
And
this
they're
really
all like these bubbles.
It really doesn't cover a whole too much.
It doesn't, but that just goes to show you that not a lot of people can like make a living off of Twitch.
There's just two tiny blue dots that are just off in the very bottom, like left corner by themselves.
Yeah.
And they're only connected to each other.
Yeah, the interesting thing
I
is,
think those are probably NFT bros, judging from their names.
okay, for instance, right? If I had to say a group that I know the most, it would be the purplish dots in the top right. Because that's where like Ludwig, Soda Pop, and Hasanabe,
Yeah, it's...
Trainwrecks. I know all these people. Like I know Kaide.
See,
That's
the
like the
thing that
group that I
confuses
watch.
me. I want to see. Oh, he is here. Where is Sips? Good Christ. Okay, he's connected to everybody, which does make sense. It is Sips. Oh, and then okay, yeah, and then Strippin. Okay, so my group is the bright blue one that Fextra Life apparently is like the big one in, because the like, or like the tealish color, because Maximilian Dude, I know him. I know Soviet Womble. I know Strippin. I know Sips. I guess I now know Kraken. There's It Me JP. There's Dex Bonus, which is Dodger. Yogscast. Yeah, this is the one I would actually know anybody from. It's weird to not see Northern Lion. There you go. It's weird not to see Germa. RT Games. I guess Call Me Kevin's probably on here. Moist Critical. Yeah, so that's the
Yeah.
ones I know the best.
It's very interesting that as soon as you saw the one person you knew,
Yeah,
you
exactly.
immediately found all the others.
Yeah. I definitely get this one. It's weird though. Like I said, that there's certain people that I would have thought would be on here that aren't, compared to people who are on here who I know are smaller. You know what I mean? Does that make any sense? It's like there's
It
people.
does, but
Yeah.
this map also works on, for instance, they could be smaller, but the reason why they're like the same color as the bigger dot is because they've somehow collaborated with them.
Oh, okay. I see that now. Yeah.
So all those like people under XQC have collaborated with them, like the same colors or whatever. And while some of them might not be huge, they're his friend, and they make it on the map in that way.
Oh, I see that. Yeah.
Because I would say that makes up like the really small dots, like that kind of way.
That
And then
could make
like
sense,
the
yeah.
medium dots
Dites.
dots are,
The medium dates.
they
Top of the
stand on
morning
like
to
their
you with my
own.
medium dates.
Because even looking at this, if you look at all like the Minecraft streamers up at the top right, the green ones, those are all Minecraft streamers. They're all big in general.
Yeah. That's fair. It is wild, although, this isn't exactly probably that engaging, so maybe we should move on for the sake of the
I mean,
viewers, but
while
if anybody
in the
wanted to
edit, I'm
deep
gonna put
dive
this
in-
on the screen.
Oh, okay. I thought you were, that's a very good point. I forgot that you put work into all this, and I just gotta talk.
Okay. Oh wait, no, you got me sidetracked. I still had something else to talk about.
Yes, I think this one we both had on our list. Is it the guy who died?
Yes, it's too
Okay,
mad.
I needed you to explain this to me because I have never heard of him at any point in his career. Apparently, he was like known for off the wall Twitter rants and stuff. Like he wasn't
Yeah,
too
we
good
call
in the
that like
head.
schizo posting, where he
Yeah.
just posts random stuff that's like, what's the context to this?
Yeah, I see. Yeah, but I know he
it
died
is-
of like a suspected overdose or like.
Yeah,
Mix.
Josh, it's sad, right? Like,
Yeah, I mean, of course.
I don't want to
we're
talk
not,
about it long.
We're not having fun about it.
It's just insane because Josh sent me a clip that came from his stream the day he supposedly like passed away, and in the clip he literally goes, "I'm on ketamine all the time. Not right now. That's for later."
God. Well.
And apparently he was queuing up for Overwatch because his Discord said Overwatch for like 4 days before they found him.
I gotcha.
It's messed up, but
Yeah,
there
it's
is
tough for him.
one weird thing that I saw on Twitter, like because everyone's roasting him, right? Because he's very like either you love him or you hate him, I guess, in a way.
Yeah.
He did make fun of someone passing away last year,
Well,
who I'm pretty sure died on pretty much the same day he did.
was it the guy that took his own life?
I don't know.
because I think I remember something about like a streamer or somebody taking their like maybe an esports guy recently. I don't know.
No, no. I will say, when I looked up like an article, TMZ did him so dirty
I can imagine
because he
That's
also
not
did
surprising.
he like did a collaboration with Belle Delphine, and that was like one of the major pictures, and I was like, that's unsavory for this article topic.
I can smell the bathwater from here.
Yeah, yeah. Well, let's move into something that you brought to the table.
Sure. As we do that, though, I will kindly guide us into the entrance of the episode. Thank you all so much for coming today and listening. This is the Fluffy Biscuits Podcast. My name is Zach. You can find me at YouTube at Pixelated Trash. I'm joined by my co-host and our beloved editor, Jacob, at NazirTL is where you can find him. You can find him on Twitter at NazirTL, and you can find us on Twitter at the Fluffy Biscuits Podcast. There's an extra F. And then if you're watching this live right now, you can listen to it on Spotify. If you're listening to it on Spotify, you can watch the live version on, well, not a live version, but a video version on our YouTube channel, the Fluffy Biscuits Podcast. Now, I do have, since we're on the topic, let's just keep rolling here. I have one topic I wanted to bring up. I need to quit closing my notes and then just having to pull them all back up. So on that, that podcast I was listening to, The Weekenders, right? Or The Geekenders. Yeah. That bronze girl, when she was on, she was talking about, they were all talking about this rant that Jesse had gone on where he was watching someone on Twitch play, I think it was the final part of the end of the story of Final Fantasy XIV, the MMO. And he explains about it all where he was like, essentially what I was trying to say in it is that if you're going to play a story game when you're streaming, when the story is taking center stage, you need to step back from the stream so that you can give a genuine reaction, right? And you can like pay attention to what's happening. And apparently, like, what had happened was this guy got like right to like one of the final cutscenes and decided to like literally turn away from his computer and start talking to chat instead, right? So instead of like playing the game, he was like the cutscene was just going and he wasn't. And so Jesse was just kind of saying like, if your whole point of like streaming is that you want to be like right there with the chat, you should probably like do just chatting or play like a mindless game. Like if you want to put out content that's like story games and you want to be invested in it. And he did a much better job of explaining this than I am. I'm making it not sound like what he was going for, but he got into like a bunch of people were pushing back on Twitter being like, well, if I'm streaming, I'm not supposed to talk to my chat or I'm not supposed to, you know, interact and thank people. And he's basically like, no, that's not my point at all. But if you're going to stream, then like they basically all in the podcast got into a conversation saying like, when you're going to stream something that like requires your focus, right? And like attention, then it's good to just chunk time out and have like a break where you go through and thank all your new followers or subscribers, you know, address maybe a comment or two in the chat. And then you can go back to the actual content. Where, so, you know, like if you're playing something like Star Ocean, not something like, you know, Valorant or whatever, you know what I mean? And so I'm just curious about that because that is one of my biggest pet peeves. Holy shit, Mallory watches this girl, and I love her to death on YouTube. Her name's K-Pop. I highly recommend her. But she will stop every 5 minutes of like story games where we're trying to see the game and make a progression and have like funny moments and stuff. And she would just stop to just talk to the chat or thank for followers or be like, oh, thank you for the blah, blah, blah. Thank you for the blah. And it's like, I cannot, if Mallory wasn't there actively watching it, I would not be able to have it on because it's just so nothing almost at some point where it's like, I go to streams to watch people. I don't care about the other people watching the stream to a certain degree. You know what I mean? I am neither interested in having conversation with them and I'm not interested in them not being there. You know, it's just a very indifference there. So when I'm watching a stream, it's like I prefer the streamer to do the thing and then play. And then I think it's better, like Dodger was saying on that podcast, where you stop and you have chunks where you like thank everybody. And again, like I said, I'm not doing the best job of explaining it. I'll have to send you the clip of the conversation. But
no, I mean, like, I understand what you're saying, but I do think there's two types of streamers.
Yeah.
I don't, because for instance, your girlfriend watches it and she doesn't have a problem with it, but you do.
Yeah.
So it's obviously like you're not the audience it's targeted to. For instance,
Yeah.
I also, because it's hard to describe because I don't mind it either way either. Like I couldn't care less.
Yeah.
If I have it pulled up, I'm watching it because of the person, not what they're doing.
And I'm not quite the same way. I need what they're doing to engage me nonetheless. It's like that bar gets lower and lower though the more I like a streamer, right? Which is why
Yeah.
I say I wouldn't watch K-pop, but if she just dialed it back a bit, I would. You know what I mean? Because I do like her a lot as a content creator, and I like her videos and streams a lot. I just don't like having to wait and go through 5 minutes every 10 minutes of thanking the audience and talking to everybody and stuff. But that's what she does. That's what she wants to do. Like, her whole thing there is the community. It really isn't about the game.
I think, I think a lot of the time, his criticism, I don't think necessarily works. Like, I think in general, it's good criticism, but if a person's base, like, built their audience off of doing that, changing, like, their formula or format of what they do could make them lose their audience, which is why streamers that mainly stream Minecraft will have all their viewers leave if they stream another game.
Yeah. No, I mean,
So
I think
it's
there's
sort
a lot
of
of
like,
influence to it.
it's one of those, but also one of my favorite streamers who hates being a streamer is like Slime.
I haven't heard of him.
He's Ludwig's friend who got on podcast. I guess he just started streaming because they sort of told him to, just to do it. He streams Valorant, but man, being in his Twitch chat is like a war zone because I can type, but you have to time it right because he looks at it and I swear to God he sees everything. He's like the all-seeing eye. And half the time someone will be like, "Hey, how was your day?" And he'll be like, "Don't fucking be parasocial." Banned. Just immediate. And it's just like, it's like walking through a minefield in a good way. I feel like people try to actively talk in the chat and not get hit with it. But if they do get hit, they're like, well, you know what? I had it coming.
No, I feel that though. I do. I really do think there are different types, and I guess watching a podcast that is three people who are the exact type of streamer I like to watch and hearing their opinions, because they're all pretty popular. It's like they all make good livings off it, and they of course have a lot of other things going on. But I guess that was a little bit of an echo chamber because I do see what you're saying. So I don't necessarily 100% agree, but I do definitely say that for me personally. I want to watch people actually play. The thing is, I don't want you silent. You know what I mean? I don't want you just sitting there like, it's just nothing happens and just the game is going. But at the same time, I want like the balance between interacting with the people and then actually making like the progress in the game. And I think that's actually. Go on.
You finish your thing, and then I'll explain what I was going to explain.
Yeah, because no, you're fine. I was just gonna wrap up with this, because I'm basically done talking, like, or at least giving my point of view on this. With that kind of streaming, damn it, hold on, no, I got it.
You lost.
No, I got it. That's, I think, kind of also a useful tool if maybe. How do you say? Maybe you're not the biggest fan of a game, or maybe you're just kind of trying to pad a stream that it's like, I've watched some people take a fucking 60-minute game and make it a 4-hour stream because of how much they talk during it. You know what I mean? Like how much they stop to like interact and stuff. And I'm not saying that as a criticism at all. I'm just saying maybe it's like if you want a longer stream, you only got one game to play. You're like, that's going to take an hour and a half and I'm supposed to be here for 4. So.
Yeah. I also think, like, for instance, when I was younger, I used to watch people stream mainly video games. For instance, would be like the Syndicate project streaming like Maya Night, which is Minecraft, their own like server. That was like years ago. They don't do that anymore. I used to watch that all the time. You wouldn't catch me going back and watching that anymore as like a live stream because it's not content for me anymore. I feel like if I'm watching a live stream, I'm now gravitating towards people who are cooking, IRL streaming, or having some sort of like event. Those are the three things that I watch on Twitch now. If I want to watch a game, I go and specifically, like for instance, if I want to watch a game like a story, I will. For the new God of War game, I literally just the day after it came out, I went and watched every cutscene.
Yeah.
Just a big video, and I'm like, there we go. I know what happens.
I get the gist. We're good.
Yeah. So I feel like there are two different audiences. A lot of what you're describing is also React streamers to a different point of view. Because Hassan, I watch him, but he covers mainly like news.
Yeah.
But if he does watch a video, he can turn a 5-minute video into like 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Because he pauses and comments, like it leads into like rabbit holes.
Yeah.
But it's because he's good at what he does, and that's what people are there to see. And if people aren't there to see it, they just leave.
Yeah, I think that's actually, to actually analyze it like that is interesting, because I apply that to some of the YouTubers I watch, like Leon Lush or Cinnamon Toast Ken, who are mostly like React YouTubers, you know? And
Yeah.
Cinnamon Toast Ken will put out a video that's 23 minutes, and I'm like, man, I actually kind of want to just watch this whole video and see what it's like, and I'll actually find it, and it'll be 6 minutes or 7 minutes, you know? And it's like, oh, I didn't contemplate how much his commentary was going to actually, like, pad that out. Not in any kind of bad way, just...
Yeah. But another thing you have to take into account, for instance, right, Hassan, he streams, like, I'm pretty sure he streams every day, for the most part, 8 hours a day.
Yeah, yeah.
So he's used to dragging something out. But also, another thing you'll catch the streamers that do that doing is, because he's streaming 8 hours a day, people that show up in the morning are not also there in the evening. So if you go back in, it's sort of like watching the news in general, because he's saying the same news over for people who weren't there to begin with.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I mean, news itself does that.
Yeah.
They run the first block of news, and then they reset it, run the next block of news, and it's the same stories. They're just telling it again so you hear it.
Yep.
But actually, it's funny you mentioned going back and like watching an old stream, because I did have another topic. I went back out of nostalgia and rewatched the entirety of Sips and then Jesse Cox launch day started Skyrim playthroughs. So from like 2011, 2012, I think Sips got into it a little late, but 2011, 2012, I was actually astonished just going through the comments how many people that were not YouTubers then have like thousands of subscribers now. It's really just it's not like anything specific, and I'm not pointing to any kind of success feature. I'm just saying there's a lot of people in those comments now that you'll like scroll through and there'll be like an 11-year-old comment, and like one guy I was like, this is an 11-year-old comment, but this guy has a check mark. He's got like 1 million subs, but he was like just posting randomly at one time on Jesse Cox's Skyrim video. I think that's really interesting, and I've been going back on a pretty old, like down the rabbit hole, old YouTube stuff, trying to avoid the stuff that probably didn't age so well. But some of the earlier stuff for some people that are still around is still real good. I highly recommend Jesse Cox and Wild Crindor when they played the beta of the new quote unquote Sim City in 2012. That was they played the beta of that co-op. That game's so fucking busted back then, and God, it was so funny. But
I remember in school we had like a technology class. This is like middle school. And to this day, when you hear technology class, you kind of think it's going to be about computers and stuff.
Yeah, but
no, it wasn't. It was kind of like agriculture adjacent. I was kind of upset. I was like, ooh, we can learn how to do computer stuff. And it mainly just learned, it was us learning about different equipment. It wasn't farming, it was just different equipment, like, trucks and stuff. It was weird. It was weird to be called technology, but not talk about a very technological aspect. But we did get to play SimCity on the computers every now and then.
Oh, like one of the old ones? Or
yeah, and it was just like, I remember one day going in and they were like, they took away SimCity.
Oh,
The IT guys came down, they took away SimCity, and we were all like, no, We can't have it.
That sucks. No, that happened to me with oh man. So you know about the Oregon Trail, the game, right?
Yeah.
So what a lot of people don't know is that they've actually made multiple Oregon Trails, and then they made multiple spin-offs of the Oregon Trail.
That is surprising, actually.
Yeah, I think they made 3 iterations of the Oregon Trail before they stopped like making new ones, and they made 3 iterations of the Amazon Trail, and then something else that was a different kind of trail. But I played Amazon Trail religiously on the computers in my elementary school, maybe middle school. I want to say elementary school, but holy shit, that shit was so fucking fun. It came out like 2001, so it might have been middle school, but it's fucking great. And I remember that I never got any work done in computer class. They tried to teach me to type. I still type with just 2 fingers because I didn't ever do any of that.
Yeah, I remember having like a typing class that was like mandatory. Like no one wanted to take it, but you had to.
Yeah.
And the teacher would come by, and I do like the standard typing motion. He'd leave, and I would type faster with one hand because of like the WASD. But I would just move it to the middle, and then just like sporadically go through it all. He'd come back and be like, "Wow, you're already done?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I am."
Yeah, I pecked, but that's why my typing for all the people who have undoubtedly heard.
Like you do the little
but I go fast. It's like. That's why when you hear me typing in the background, my fucking keyboard sounds like I'm like bouncing it off the table because I'm like tap, 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 tap.
Yeah, I can do that too. I don't know. It's weird. I'm very versatile, but my natural state of the computer is always one hand on the mouse, one hand on the keyboard because of computer gaming, and it'll never change.
That's fair. I play a lot of simulators, a lot of hotkeys, so I'm used to my keyboard being my source of everything. It's hard to get through Flight Simulator without a keyboard.
On it. I got a MOBA mouse.
I've got this pretty pink one that I bought from Walmart like 2 months ago.
Yes,
it's only got 2 buttons.
I thought it was lavender. What the fuck?
I mean, it is. It's like a lavender pinkish. It's more purple in person, and it's more pink on the screen. But that's neither here nor there. Oh, I watched a movie last night, Jacob.
Wow.
And I need you to listen. It's called The Dead Don't Die, okay?
Oh, okay.
It's a zombie movie. It's a comedy zombie movie. But it stars Bill Murphy and Adam Driver as the sheriffs of a small town that's infected by zombies. It stars Tilda Swinton as a Scottish Buddhist samurai.
Okay.
Yeah, who then, I'm not going to spoil the ending because it's buck wild. I recommend this movie to everyone. I do not want to really, the more I explain of it, imagine if David Lynch wrote a funny zombie movie. That's how
it only has like mid reviews though.
Oh, that's the thing. It is the slowest, blandest thing, except for like 4 different parts that are just interspersed throughout the movie. With like, for instance, you're told that Tilda Swinton is a Scottish Buddhist samurai right off the bat. She has 2 pretty incredible samurai scenes that are fucking great. She also plays really heavily into the ending, which is fucking amazing. But the whole fucking movie is just bonkers. But it's so deadpan. It's completely deadpan. Like, no one's laughing at jokes. No one is like getting very emotional. It's all like stoic and deadpan. Like, even as people are like screaming, Adam Driver and Bill Murray are like, we really need to get her to be quiet. We've got things to do right now. It's just.
I would like to have a side note. It is kind of funny looking at my webcam because I kind of look like a floating head.
You do, a little bit. If the black blended in a little more with the chair, you could imagine you're just a floating head. The floating potato head.
Wow.
Mr. Floating Potato Head.
Let's see here. There's a game called Helldivers 2 that came out that I kind of wanted to talk about.
Oh yeah, I watched the McElroy brothers stream that a couple days ago.
I have not seen it. All I have heard from it is from Josh, and apparently it's like, it's a big world and everyone's working together against like the invaders, which I think is really cool.
Yeah,
But
did you not play
TikTok,
Helldiver 1?
No, I didn't even know anything about this game.
Oh.
But the one thing I thought was funny is because Josh talked about it once, and then he told me about a TikTok. And then I saw the TikTok, and the TikTok is literally just like, the robot front is losing, boys. We need help. And I'm just like, wow, okay. I kind of want to get it.
This company, they also made Magica, if you ever played that.
I love Magica.
Yeah, they made that. But yeah, I played Magica and Helldivers 1. I've not played Helldivers 2. Helldivers 1 is fun. I have heard much better things about Helldivers 2 because it's more of a direct third-person shooter, right? Whereas Helldivers 1 wasn't a bullet hell, but it was more of like a shoot 'em up, you know what I mean? As opposed to being like a third-person action game. And a lot of people apparently, from what I'm reading, have praised that, praise the change of the camera and stuff like that, and it does look just a lot better, not being like, because it wasn't isometric in Helldivers 1, but it was like
I understand what you're saying. Looking at a picture of it,
it was like almost
it's kind of like
top-down.
that.
Yeah.
The interesting thing is it is probably one of the only games that I would get that has no concept of it ever getting a PvP added to it, because we both know I enjoy PvP. I want player v player.
I was gonna say, as we discussed this a lot, I only want to work with people, and you primarily prefer to work against people.
Yep. This is probably one of the games that I would get, even though like the developer has specifically said it will never have PvP.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't even know how much. Like, I'm not saying that if it would be bad, but I don't know how much enjoyment even someone who likes PvP would get out of this game because of the way that it's. At least all I've seen of it is the hour or so that the McElroy stream, but it looks like you really got to like work together, and I don't know what would happen if you tried to make that PvP. But
kind of reminds me of PlanetSide 2, like not in the way of it plays the same, but in the way of like do you remember how you would see like the huge map and it has like all the grid, and there's like how everyone spreads out and your team is actively working to fight against other pieces of the grid to take it?
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of that. I also remember PlanetSide 2 is, I think, the very first game I ever watched on like Twitch or Justin TV. And I remember specifically one of the people being like, yeah, I have like an AMD Phantom or something, Phenom, and me going, wow, that sounds so cool. What the fuck is that? And he's like, yeah, it's literally melting from streaming this game. I remember that like vividly.
Good Lord. That's pretty wild though. I don't even remember. Oh, I do remember what the first thing I ever watched on stream is, but he has since been canceled, so. It was Late Nights with Cry and Russ, that cryotic guy that got like hella canceled a couple years ago. Yeah. That was a long
It's funny
time
because
ago.
I literally brought that up to Josh the other day because I was telling him about Will Neff, and he's like, man, he's just your favorite streamer, and he like just trying to make fun at me. Mm-hmm. And I go, yeah, well, at least my favorite streamer didn't get canceled.
That's fair.
And he just goes, why you gotta do me like that? It was so dirty.
Although I'll say, it's almost nowadays it feels like we're playing on hard mode, in terms of not watching people that are gonna get canceled.
I mean, it's almost like the apocalypse. Eventually, it's gonna come for everybody for something. Even if it's like something that doesn't make any sense.
That is certainly fair.
The
Man,
what?
I was gonna say I'm already gonna get canceled for like not buying free range eggs or something.
I will cancel you for that. I'm just kidding. I do know, and this is a very odd topic, but I watch a lot of Maya, who runs an animal sanctuary. So it's very
Oh,
interesting that you said that.
why? What's interesting? Oh, because chickens. Okay, gotcha. Took me a second to
Yeah, because
get.
that's one of the things she says. Like every stream is like, it doesn't matter. Like if you eat meat, as long as you try and figure out where it's sourced from, so it's not one of those terrible places to get meat from. And I'm like, noted. I will note this for my future endeavors. And also, the beef industry produces a bunch of natural gases in general. I feel like more than you would think.
Yeah,
Like
that
just
part's
from
fair. I do know
existing.
that. The just the amount yeah, like the methane gas or whatever it's called.
Yeah,
Like
because I'm
what
pretty sure it's like cows create like the most. And even
something like
though
that.
there's probably way more chickens in existence in like a small thing, they create way less. And it's like, dang, that's crazy.
No, I can definitely get behind that because I can definitely get behind that. There's something about there's something about the whole meat industry that gives me the heebie-jeebies. Like not about like the concept of butchering or anything like that. Just
Yeah.
the literal way that it's all processed. It's like, man, I've reached a point now where I go to buy meat and I'm just like, I have to stand there at the meat aisle and just look and be like, "Ugh."
I took like a bunch of agriculture classes, but I'm not saying like, I know everything about it because I definitely don't. I just know like the basic level of stuff.
That's
But
fair.
something I do know is how messed up it is. Okay, okay. You remember like last year when people were like, "Oh, there's like a chicken or like egg shortage because of the chickens getting sick."
Yes.
Do you know what they have to do to a like coop, like
Yeah, they
one of
have
those
to.
long ass
Yeah,
buildings?
they have to cull it.
Yeah, the whole thing.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, because my.
do you know how they do it?
I mean, I know they kill them all. I just don't know how. Gas?
There's like two methods. I'm pretty sure they either gas them or they suffocate them.
Yeah, because my uncle, I've talked about before, owns a restaurant here in the city, and when that happened, he was paying like, I think like 80% up mark on wings because it's a wing restaurant, you know. And he was telling me about that. He was telling me about how they're going through and having to like kill them all off, which not great. Kind of wish we had a better thing than that, but I guess if we don't, we'd prefer not to get all the chickens sick. But
Yeah, it's messed up to think about, but I feel like it's just it's something that happens nowadays. I
yeah,
know
no, I mean,
one of my family members is like, I'll just randomly. I'm about to like spit out one of these facts about how fucked up it is, and they're like, "Don't tell me. I don't want to know. If I know, I will never eat that food again."
I can
It's,
imagine. No, because yeah, I don't think I've ever really given it like sat down and given it all the thought it need. I did read The Jungle in high school, but I don't think that really applies to the modern meat industry anymore. Maybe it does. It'd
yeah.
be kind of wild if it does. That'd be
Yes,
pretty
sir.
wild if they were just like they just were lying this whole time and just off in like some small town in Indiana they still run like an 1880 slaughterhouse that's like got like children pulling the chain.
Well, I have a question for you.
I have an answer for you.
For our
Probably.
next stream night, whenever it happens, because we're not as committed to the stream idea in general, but whenever it happens, do you want to try streaming directly to the channel?
Oh, like on YouTube?
Yeah, to the Fluffy Biscuits channel.
You'd still have to host because my shit ass internet, but yeah,
Well,
definitely, we
yeah,
definitely could do that.
it's like I'm gonna do that, but like I can probably make that happen fairly easily.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I know how. I actually know how to do it. So if I know how to do that, then you could definitely figure it out. That's usually
'Cause
the.
something else I've been working on or thinking, not like working on as in I'm gonna do it definitely, but like just pondering
Mm-hmm.
is you can like use Restream IO. So basically you stream to them and then they distribute it to different channels. So you can actually
Oh
stream to
yeah,
like.
yeah.
So I've been thinking next time I stream, I might try to stream to my YouTube and my Twitch,
I gotcha.
or to a Twitch and a Kick account. I don't like Kick, but
You could stream to TikTok since you like to make stuff there.
I don't want to stream to TikTok
I
because
can.
that's a lot of
I don't.
that's a lot
I
more
don't.
hassle because it's
Don't
a
really either.
vertical
Yeah,
plane.
yeah, yeah. I guess that would be
Listen,
kind
I
of obnoxious
like
to try to.
TikTok, but I like TikTok for like funny clips. I would never sit there and watch someone stream on TikTok.
No, I'm behind you. I can't say that I would be. Well, Mallory loves it. Mallory cannot get enough of those TikTok streamers. She will watch them play anything as long as it's like a little, what's the word? As long as it's like a farming simulator, something calm that she likes. She watches like this one girl play Disney Dreamlight Valley, another girl play Stardew, so on and so forth like that. And but I mean, they get a lot of views. I can't imagine you make much money.
No, the
But
TikTok like partner program in general is known to have like a set limit, whereas other things
yeah,
don't.
that would make
And
sense
I
then.
sort of live by like if I don't think I would like the content idea, I'm not gonna do it in general. So streaming TikTok, if I ever did it, it would have to be it would have to be something like comedic, and not just a gaming stream.
Yeah, that makes sense. I can't imagine. Yeah, like I said,
I
I
do
don't think
want
that'd be very fun.
I do want to stream to my Twitch an idea. It's like a beer pong thing with my friends. I want to stream that.
I
But
mean,
I'm gonna
that's fair.
have Khalid be have you ever seen like Dynasty Warriors?
Yeah, yeah. I played all of them, or at least most of them.
You know the like narrator or the announcer?
Yeah,
How
yeah.
he has like that epic voice as he's like announcing. I'm gonna get Khalid to sit behind because Khalid doesn't drink. I'm gonna have him sit behind the screen and like actually man the stream with
Yeah.
like the stream deck and everything. And there's gonna be like multiple cameras, one for one side, one for the other, and then one for the whole table.
I feel you then.
But I want him to also make like each round one random fucked up drink for each side that you don't know. Like there's
That
just
does.
like a note under it. And then when someone hits that person has to like look at the note and be like, "Oh fuck."
That sounds pretty fucking disgusting. I won't lie to you.
Oh, it's going to be. That's the idea.
Man, once I get my Sunhaven stuff, there's so many like little things I'm thinking about making. I'm debating making almost like a machinima, like with not like a real one because those are so vastly out of style now, but almost like a supercut, like Life and Times Sims thing. Still, that would involve you and Josh as characters as well.
I would like that.
I'm too dedicated to doing it all at once, and it's gonna take about 5 hours, which is why I've still not sat down to do it, right? Because I don't know why, but I don't want to sit down and do it like an hour recording and then have to come back and get back into it. But I'll eventually get that done and have some fun with that. Then I do have Sunhaven coming out soon. I really want to send you the rest of it so that I can get that uploaded before I start posting it, just in case I have any hitch where I need some time in between.
Before we end it,
Yes.
I want to tell you about my Yu-Gi-Oh idea.
Okay. Therefore, tell all of us about your Yu-Gi-Oh idea.
Yes. So, I want to get back into Yu-Gi-Oh in general, right?
Mm-hmm.
I sent you that video of that guy named Ruggles. I watched like that whole series. I enjoy it. It's very inspirational to make people want to get back into the game. He views the game the same way I do, because there's like in Yu-Gi-Oh I'm the opposite, because Yu-Gi-Oh is such a you gotta pay to have the great cards. So I sort of like if I'm gonna play it, I want to just have fun playing it. I want to meet people, have fun playing it.
I gotcha.
He views it the same way. I would like to do at some point in the future something similar to that. That same like vlog style, but in the future, not right now. But for right now, I would like to get you to record your Yu-Gi-Oh games and me record mine on that, like, one of those apps, whether it's like YGO Pro or Master Duel. Master Duel might actually be more fun for you. I know I got caught into playing it for like 4 hours, just goofing around. But I think it'd be funny to have you do a little series where you're learning a whole new deck. Like you pick out a deck, you make it, because you can get any cards on Master Duel.
Yeah,
you just have to you have to get points by like playing the game. There's microtransactions, but you can. I say micro, but just by doing the story mode, you get everything you need. You don't need to do anything like that. It's fine. You choose a deck, I choose a deck. We play like practice duels leading up, and then we have a duel against each other, like a few rounds.
I feel you.
And then
My
maybe
my
like
deck is just gonna forewarn you. My deck's gonna be 58 repeated copies of Head of Exodia, and nothing else.
The but I think we should do it, and if we can make it like a series where obviously like we show, I'll combine our stuff into something for my channel, because I don't really want to put Yu-Gi-Oh on the podcast channel.
Yeah.
But basically us going up, and then for our duel we sort of stake something. As in, like, maybe the next game we stream, whoever wins gets to choose it.
That's fair.
For the podcast channel, like, that's the stake. And that way, at the end of that series on my channel, it would, you'd be like, oh, well, you won, so you could choose the game. You choose the game, we state the game there, and we can drag people over to the streams for the podcast.
Yeah, I feel that. Well, that sounds like we got a lot of exciting new shit coming up for y'all, so that's about the time that I tell you thank you so much for watching. Remember, if you watch this on YouTube, to hit us with a like or a subscribe. If you listen to this on Spotify, hit us with a follow. Give us some stars. Tell us how much you liked it. If you watch this on YouTube, you can find the Spotify webpage at the Fluffy Biscuits Podcast. If you listen to this on Spotify, you can find us at YouTube at the Fluffy Biscuits Podcast. You can find me, Zach, over on YouTube at Pixelated Trash. You can find Jacob over on YouTube at NazirTL, also on Twitter at NazirTL, and you can find us on Twitter at the Fluffy Biscuits Podcast. There's an extra F. And with that, we will bid you all adieu. Goodbye.